Lake Anna has become one of Virginia's hottest lake communities with 13,000 acres of pristine water and multi-million dollar estates. Can you imagine properties that used to sell for $500,000 about 5 years ago now go for over $1 million? I'm gonna tell you exactly what it's like living in Virginia's finest lake community, Lake Anna, Virginia. Let's get into the video. But before I show you incredible lakefront properties, I need to tell you what it's like living here at Lake Anna, Virginia. Lake Anna is a massive 13,000 acre lake situated between Fredericksburg and Charlottesville, Virginia, created in 1972 as a water source for the North Anna nuclear power station. You know, it's funny, my grandfather bought a property there in the early 80s, and we grew up going to the lake all the time. It was right on the water. And in the late 90s, he sold the property and he went on to say that was one of the biggest regrets of his life. And then later in his life, he went out and bought a property there. And me and my family have been going there for decades as my parents bought a house there in the early 2000s. But there was literally nothing out there. And the nuclear power plant out there, the North Anna nuclear power station, that powers all of the data centers here in Northern Virginia, if you didn't know that or not. So that is becoming a great story here for Northern Virginia. It's coming from Lake Anna, which is absolutely incredible, but it has a maximum depth of 90 feet with 200 miles of shoreline, and it goes through 3 counties. You have Louisa, Orange, and Spotsylvania counties, and it's divided into 2 parts. You've got the public side, which is 9,600 acres, and then the private side, which is 3,400 acres. Now, I always grew up going on the public side, but I know a lot of people that have properties on the private side as well. And it's separated by 3 concrete dikes with the drainage systems. It's only about 75 miles southwest of Washington, D.C. So a lot of people from Maryland, Philadelphia, all kinds of areas in Pennsylvania, even Northern Virginia, of course, travel down to Lake Anna. It has become one of the premier lake properties in all of the East Coast. And it's only 45 minutes from Fredericksburg and just about 30 minutes from Culpeper, Virginia. And you're about 60 minutes from downtown Charlottesville, Virginia, in UVA, University of Virginia. And keep in mind, you have easy access to Route 522, Route 208, and Interstate 95. So you could be on Interstate 95 from Lake Anna in about 30 minutes. The location is absolutely killer. You're also close to Richmond Airport, or you could drive about an hour and a half to Dallas International Airport or National Airport as well. It has the perfect balance of being away from the city, but close enough to commute if needed. I've actually sold plenty of properties where people would go back and forth between Lake Anna or maybe Manassas or Fairfax, Virginia, and they would maybe live in Lake Anna a couple days, and they would also live in Northern Virginia a few days. It's definitely got a great location. It has become incredibly popular since the pandemic with the remote work trend, especially now that you have Elon Musk's Starlink. That has really helped out the values down there at Lake Anna for sure. The population has actually grown about 20% since 2020, and people are looking for a lot more space, outdoor amenities, and a better quality of life. The average temperature in the lake during the summer gets to be about 80 to 85 degrees, and lake water is typically more clear in the Virginia lakes. Now, if you're really into boats, which I really am, and like I said, I grew up going on Lake Anna, on the weekends, it can definitely get a little crowded, but there is really minimal boat traffic. Like, you can be out there and maybe be the only person on the lake, especially if it's like early spring or early fall, those kind of times, but there can actually be minimal traffic on the lake. You can do all kinds of different things. A lot less crowded than Smith Mountain Lake or maybe even Deep Creek Lake for sure. But one thing that most real estate agents won't tell you is that there is a massive difference between the public and the private side of the lake that impact your property values up to 15%. I'll break down exactly what this means for your investment in just a minute, because first, we've got to talk about recreation and lifestyle over here at Lake Anna. But before we dive into that, if you want to stay ahead of everything going on in Northern Virginia or the state of Virginia and Lake Anna, you should subscribe to my newsletter. I'm going to put a link in the description below. In my newsletter, we talk about all the breaking news in Northern Virginia, the DMV region that I put out on Instagram, which we have over 12 million viewers. So if you're thinking about selling your house, we can actually get it in front of 12 million people here in the DMV. So definitely sign up. We talk about new developments going on at Lake Anna, new things coming to the area, like I said, and much more. So definitely sign up for my newsletter. So let's talk about recreation and lifestyle here at Lake Anna. You've got an all sports lake. You can literally do any activity that you can imagine. There's no horsepower restrictions, so you won't be out there by yourself on a dinghy. I've seen some crazy boats out there at Lake Anna, I'm not gonna lie. Unlike many other lakes that actually have a lot of restrictions, you can do any type of horsepower that you want at Lake Anna. You've got water skiing, wakeboarding, jet skiing, kayaking, and of course, paddleboarding. I actually saw somebody out there one day in one of those crazy paddleboards that was actually remote controlled, and they were just driving around. It was like absolutely incredible. Sailing is also really popular, as well as airplanes that can land in the water as well. And fishing is definitely insane. It is really popular. That's known for their striper, largemouth bass, crappie, catfish, and the state record is actually a 53-pound striper was caught in Lake Anna, if you can believe it. Now, you can actually hire professional guides, or you can actually rent a boat down there at the lake, which is really awesome. I have a lot of friends that will rent a boat down there at the lake, and they'll go to this party spot over there called the Cove, which can actually get a little crazy. And major fishing tournaments can actually draw huge crowds. You've got the annual Lake Anna Striper Tournament, the Summer Bass Classic, to the Fall Fishing Festival as well. And you also have strong year-round community and not just weekend getaway events going on all the time. Now, about 50% of the houses there at Lake Anna are actually going to be homeowners, and then 50% will be maybe second home or Airbnb type properties. Community events really go on throughout the year. One of the most famous events, I will tell you, it gets really packed. My brother kind of got stuck out there one time, and he said it was a little scary, but they have the 4th of July spectacular at multiple locations every year at the lake. It's usually on the Saturday before or after July 4th. And then you have the annual Lake Anna Boat Parade with all kinds of decorated vessels, fishing tournaments with $10,000 prize pools, and community gatherings in local marinas as well. And then they have the Christmas Boat Parade with lighted vessels, and then charity fundraisers are going on throughout the year. There's also all kinds of off-water activities as well. You have hiking trails at Lake Anna State Park, which is about 15 miles of trails. The state park has a swimming beach with lifeguards all throughout the summer, so it has a really cool beach. I go by there on my boat all the time, and we will see people just chilling there, just laying and enjoying the sand. It's almost like you're at the ocean without the ocean being there. You know what I mean? You're at a lake. And then you have 4 golf courses that are actually within 30 minutes of driving right there. And one of my favorite places is Lake Anna Winery. It's got award-winning wines, and that's literally just a few minutes away from the lake. And then you also have mountain biking trails as well that are being developed, and then several excellent restaurants on the water. There's all kinds of really great places to eat there. One of my favorites is going to be Tim's River Shore. That place has absolutely amazing seafood. You should definitely check it out. And then there's a community farmers market that goes on every weekend. And then a local Lake Anna events calendar is like literally always full. There is always some kind of really cool events like Renaissance festivals, pretty much anything and everything you can think of. And there's a growing boating community with regular meetups as well. And there's several active homeowner associations that organize events all the time. And then of course, there's multiple marinas around for boat storage, maintenance, and rental. So if you didn't want to like take your boat every year out and get it winterized and take it to your house, you can have them do that and take care of it. That's something that I really think that you should consider if you're getting a really expensive boat, which trust me, I know that boats can get really expensive. Now we have to talk about restaurants and amenities. And obviously you can tell I'm someone who likes to eat and go out and have a drink. But there's actually all kinds of growing selections of amenities. Now growing back up in the day, right? You had to go to Louisa or the town of Mineral, maybe get a lake, go to like a McDonald's, but there's all kinds of different restaurants. Popular lakefront dining options are gonna be like Tim's at Lake Anna, which has really great food and an awesome atmosphere. You can like literally chill out on the deck. You can watch some of the airplanes landing, of course. Then also you can walk down and get some ice cream. And then you have the Cove, which is gonna have some cool lake views, and they have a DJ come in. They have all kinds of partying going on. That's like my brother's favorite place. He like loves all of their special drinks. And then you have Lake Anna Tiki Bar. And then of course, Asian Cafe. You can go there and get hibachi. And then you have Vito's, which is a local Italian place as well. And then you have Anna Cabana with seasonal waterfront dining. And you can actually find people that will go around on boats and sell ice cream from the boats. And it's really cool. They'll pull up to your dock or they'll pull up to your boat and you can get the kids some ice cream. There's also some specialty food options like Lake Anna Smokehouse with authentic barbecue, Wake Zone Coffee, the little local coffee shop with breakfast, and then Anna Point Marina Ice Cream Shop, definitely like a summer favorite. Now for groceries, right? You're in Lake Anna, you're in Central Virginia, right? Like you're not in Arlington or downtown DC, so you're not gonna have like a Whole Foods, places like that, but they have an awesome Food Lion and Walmart that are about 15 to 20 minutes away from Mineral. And then you have the Mineral Farmers Market every Saturday morning. And then there's a small corner market as well. There's all kinds of shopping options over in Fredericksburg. Maybe one day you were bored with the lake, you could actually head over to Fredericksburg and go see a movie, or go to downtown Fredericksburg, check out the water there and go check out some of their local restaurants. And then of course, Amazon, which they pretty much go everywhere. They deliver everywhere at Lake Anna as well. So I've also gotten Instacart, Uber Eats, all of that comes around. Let's talk a little bit about marina services. You have Anna Point Marina with full service boat rentals. And then you have Sturgeon Creek Marina with gas, storage, maintenance. And then Lake Anna Marina, of course, with boat service and sales. And then High Point Marina with the rentals and boat slips. And then Dukes Creek Marina with fuel and convenience store as well. Let's talk about entertainment entertainment options, right? You now obviously you're at the lake. The most entertaining thing you can do is be on the water, but you have Lake Anna Brewery with all kinds of craft beers and events. That place is really cool and popular. It gets really packed. You can literally pull right up on your boat. And then you have Lake Anna State Park, which features concerts during the summer and outdoor movie theaters as well. And then there's live music at Tim's and all the time. And like I said, the Cove, some weekends will have a DJ. Just definitely check out their schedule for sure. Let's talk about some new businesses that are opening. You have Lake Anna Brewery, which recently opened. New gourmet market is under construction. And then a boutique shopping center is planned near Route 208. And there's planned for a lot more commercial development as the population grows. There's also been some new coffee shops opening in the course. And then there's also a brand new medical complex that is in the beginning stages. And that's just the beginning. In a bit, I'm going to show you all of the future growth this area is about to experience. But first, let's talk about the housing market at Lake Anna. So housing obviously is my specialty. If you are thinking about buying or selling a home at Lake Anna or anywhere in the country, we can help you. Email me info@colganteam.com. You can also text me at any time. Keep in mind, the Dominion Power actually owns the lake. So some of it, they will have an easement, but you will be allowed to put a dock and all that out there onto their lake as well. So keep that in mind. But housing prices, let's talk about housing ranges, right? Like you definitely have all kinds of different housing. You have condos to small waterfront cottages to multi-million-dollar mansions that are right on the water, and entry-level waterfront homes will definitely start around $400,000. You can get a mid-range home around, $600,000 to $100,000 up to $1 million. And then luxury estate sales with like prime water are going to go anywhere from $1 million to $3.5 million. Now, the average waterfront home in Lake Anna sells for around $875,000. Average price per square foot for a waterfront home is going to be around $325 to $450 a square foot, with water access homes around $200 to $275 a square foot, and then non-water property is going to be around $150 to $180 per square foot. But the market down here has definitely been on fire. Properties are actually up 50 to 60% in just 5 years. There actually was a report out not too long ago, about 2 or 3 years ago. This was the best second home Airbnb market in all of the United States, which is kind of shocking, right? Because you have places like Nashville and Orlando, that Lake Anna would be the best place to buy an investment. And I can understand why, right? Like prices are up 50% and people will go down there all the time, whether they want to get away from DC or have a wedding and all that. And Lake Anna is definitely Airbnb friendly. If you are thinking about doing an Airbnb, we can definitely help you with that. I would suggest though going to the county and talking to them about different restrictions for sure, because one of the things that they really hampered down on is going to be parking because of all the well and septic. So definitely keep that in mind. And some of the HOAs, they will allow Airbnb, but they won't allow you to have crazy events, so nobody can rent it out and have a wedding or things like that. So definitely do your due diligence if you're thinking about doing a second home. Now, the average time to sell in Lake Anna for a waterfront property is about 45 days. In October 2023, there was 14 waterfront homes that sold, and that was actually up from 27% in 2022. Let's talk a little bit more about the pricing difference between the private side and the public side. Now, the private side is actually going to be called a lot by the locals the warm side, because it's 10 to 15% more expensive for sure, and it's got restricted access. So it's almost like a gated water community to property owners and guests. On this side, the water temperature is going to be 10 degrees warmer year round, and the area has 3,400 acres, 9 named cove, a lot lower boat traffic with an HOA fee that's typically around $300 to $600 annually. And the public side is going to be a lot more open for everyone. You can bring friends without any restriction, and you have a lot more commercial amenities, like if you wanted to pull your boat up to a restaurant or a gas station, of course. So I feel like the public side has a lot less restrictions for sure. Now, keep in mind, if you're thinking about getting into fishing, or you're really into fishing, and that's also something that Airbnb guests like as well as a lot, the public side is going to have a lot more deeper areas than the private side for fishing for sure. Now, new construction is booming at Lake Anna with several new developments. You have Waters at Lake Anna with luxury homes going anywhere from $800,000 to $1.5 million, and then the Boardwalk with waterfront condos that start around $500,000, and then Cut Along Golf Community with lake access homes go around $600,000, and then Pleasant Landing new development with marina access. 3 additional communities will be breaking ground in 2025 as well. Now, types of houses definitely go all over the map. You have traditional waterfront cottages to kind of cause crazy contemporary glass style homes, to craftsman style homes, to modern farm homes, and then southern colonials on large lots. Like my family has kind of more of a modern home, and it's all yellow. You'll see it right on the water one day if you probably ever go out to the public side. And then waterfront lots start around $250,000, but they can really vary depending on the water depth. Here's what I'll tell you. If you're thinking about buying like a waterfront lot, you definitely want to do your due diligence. See what the water is like in front of the house. My family knows so much about Lake Anna, so if you want to buy a home there or lot, let us know. We can help you out with it. But just keep in mind, you don't want a lot that where the water is going to be really low, because then you can't pull a boat up there, and a lot of guests will not want to come if they cannot bring their boat. But if you have one with a water access, that definitely helps, especially if you have your own boat slip. Now, premium deep water lots can go around 500,000 or more, and then water access lots start around 100,000, and they'll also have a lot of community amenities like docks, boat ramps, and a private beach, which really helps if you want to do the whole second home vacation rental thing for sure. Now, some of the most popular communities and their features are going to be Clearwater Bay with the private side with premium home community amenities, Lakeside Village on the public side with more affordable options, and then the Waters, which is a newer development with resort style amenities, and then you have Pine Harbor, which is established community with a lot of mature landscaping, and then Orpington Fork with larger lots and more privacy and estate style homes. The features most buyers want when they think about buying here include deep water dock capability, open floor plan with lake views and outdoor entertainment spaces, and then boat storage solutions and guest accommodations. You gotta remember, right? Like, a lot of people are gonna go to vacation there. They're gonna be there for a week or so, and it can get really expensive during the summer. Some people can pay $1,000 to $2,000 a night. They're gonna want a cool, like, relaxing place by the water to sit out and chill. So that's why boat houses are really key. If you do have a waterfront property, keep that in mind. Waterfront price appreciation, listen to this. And the last, from 2019 to 2021, it was 27% increase. 2021 to 2023, 23% increase, and then 5 years overall, it's 56% total appreciation. Can you believe that? The current inventory is really low at the time of this video. There's only about 50 lots and homes for sale that are on the waterfront right now in Lake Anna. Now, the days on market are around 45 days. And when you get up to Northern Virginia, like deep close to DC, it's around 8 days. So it does take a little bit longer than usual, like the far out suburbs of Northern Virginia. And properties that are like really competitively priced typically sell under 30 days. The market there for sure is seasonal. The busiest obviously is going to be the spring and the summer, with spring months going from March to May with 40% of the sales year round, and summer months, June to August, 35% of all sales happen between then. And then the fall months, September and November, it's about 15% of the annual sales. And in the winter, December to February, it's only about 10% of the sales. So if you are thinking about buying in the winter, you can get a pretty good deal. And then obviously a lot of people want to go in the spring because they can take advantage of it, but that might be a good time to buy. And if you're selling, obviously spring and summer is going to be huge. Now, you can actually get non-waterfront with water access homes for around 300,000 and up. The water access communities definitely vary widely. A lot of it's going to depend on the house, and then of course the amenities. So you have older communities with basic amenities. They can go around from 350,000 to 450,000. And newer communities with premium amenities around like 450,000 to 650,000. And then golf course with water access go up 800,000 or more. Definitely keep in mind you may have to get flood insurance, so keep that in mind. So if you are looking, you want to go right ahead and call your insurance agent or call FEMA and see what that would look like for financing, because that will definitely add to your actual monthly payment. I've seen it be as much as like $2,500 annually. So that's something that you want to keep in mind. Homeowners insurance can be a little more expensive than it would be in most like Virginia style neighborhoods, because there are not many fire stations around. They can be really far. So it can be about $3,000 annually for homeowners insurance, but might be a little bit more expensive than we're usually thinking about spending. Now, here's the homes that actually have the most vacation rental potential, if that's what you're looking to do. Nice waterfront homes rent anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 a week. My parents, they never rent their house out, but their next door neighbor, he gets $5,000 to $8,000 a week. If you can believe it, that's actually his job. He just rents out his house and then he just uses it during the winter. Yeah, people do have parties and beat it up, but that's a lot of money to make every week, right? Off-season rentals can go anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 a week. And then that can really offset your mortgage and maintenance costs. Now keep in mind, right? It's a second home, it's an Airbnb or maybe a VRBO. People will have parties there, so you got to be a little strict and really watch that. I highly suggest you hire a company to help you with that as well. The average occupancy rate for a vacation rental there is about 65%, and there's strong demand for rentals year after year, with peak season being Memorial Day to the Labor Day, and it's pretty much always booked and clearly packed there all the time. Some restrictions on short-term rentals can happen, so definitely check out the location, go to the local county, see what the zoning is like, and then management companies will charge around 25%. I will tell you VRBO is very popular there as well. It's a lot more popular than Airbnb for some reason at Lake Anna. Now, here's the thing that I think about investment performance, right? Average annual appreciation at Lake Anna has been 7 and 9% over the last decade, which actually outperforms Northern Virginia and Washington, DC, if you can believe it. One thing you want to consider, it could be one of the most undervalued places in all of the East Coast. I mean, think about it, right? If you're in DC has a very high income, like Loudoun County does as well. It's actually the richest county in all all of America. It's only about 90 minutes from Lake Anna. There's not many waterfront lakes around, right, that you can go to and take a boat. People just love going there to relax, especially this is like a lot of high income earners, and there's a good place to go for sure. Not many places like this in the mid-Atlantic at all. Some of the lake properties are going to be in North Carolina and Maryland, and they actually are more expensive. When I was doing my research, some of them can go 15 to 20% higher per sale than Lake Anna does. Now, the strongest appreciation of properties for sure are usually going to be homes with the deep water access, southern exposure, sunset views, modern updates, and proximity to amenities. Keep in mind, right, like what you're going to want to do if you do buy one, waterfront or water access. And if you don't have water access, make sure the community has a nice beach area that you can go to the water and jump in, because most people won't want to do it if they have to go to the public area, especially if they're spending a lot of money. It's something that I would definitely keep in mind for sure. I would also go on and look at the different rental history, and we can definitely help you with that as well. You will have to do a lot of homework, but Lake Anna can be a really good investment opportunity. Let's talk about future growth and development for Lake Anna. One of the things that's going to be going on at that North Anna power station is Amazon is helping them add to that, and they're actually paying for it, if you can believe it. So that power station has been around since the 70s, right? So Amazon's doing that to fuel some of their data centers for Amazon Web Services. I think that's going to bring a lot of jobs to the area. The population has been steadily increasing with more year-round residents, 50% growth in permanent residents since 2020, and the work from home trend has obviously shifted it dramatically there. And then several planned developments are adding hundreds of new homes in the decade. They really have kept the development there kind of slow. So definitely keep that in mind. I don't think you'll ever see a 1,000-tract neighborhood for sure there at Lake Anna, but there is a lot of building going on. Growth is carefully managed to keep the natural beauty there. And then county plans prioritize sustainable development for sure. There is a lot of major infrastructure going on at the Lake Anna. Like right now, there's secondary roads being widened and improved, new water and sewer systems, and then of course, internet capability like Starlink. I mean, we use Starlink at our office. It's just as fast or maybe even faster than Xfinity or Verizon. It's absolutely crazy. And then fiber internet has been installed through several communities. So my parents, they just put it in their neighborhood about 3 years ago, and it was an absolute game changer because we didn't have high-speed internet there and we were all going crazy. Now, the county is also investing in education with projects including Louisa County High School being completely rebuilt with a brand new elementary school, and then commercial development is also increasing tax revenue and then adding additional restaurant spaces that are being developed. The growth is directly impacting property values, with them expected to increase 8 to 10% for the next 5 years each year. That's absolutely insane. Now, before I wrap up, I've got to be honest with you and make a parallel between perspective and reality about living here, right? The lake definitely does face some commuting challenges, okay? You are definitely far from Northern Virginia and Washington, D.C. It's about a 90-minute drive with no traffic on 95, of course, to Washington, D.C. And we all know Fredericksburg, Virginia can get really bad at 95. So if there's going to be traffic that day, you're going to think you need to add about 30 more minutes. So it could take 2 hours to get into Arlington or DC. There's no public transportation at all or Uber. So definitely keep that in mind. If you don't have a car, I don't think Lake Anna is for you. On the public side, there is a lot of huge crowds during the spring, the busy summer seasons and spring, especially during holidays. So the food line there and the other restaurants will be really packed. Holiday weekends can get really crowded on the main lake. Sometimes it can get honestly pretty dangerous out there. And we don't even take our boats during the like Memorial Day weekend and like that on the weekends, because it can get really crowded, especially from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. because a lot of people will just drive down there for a couple hours, then head back to wherever they came from, like Richmond, Charlottesville, Northern Virginia. There are some weather considerations you need to be aware of, such as how the lake can get rough during storm. The winter months tend to be very quiet, limited activity, and the spring and fall can definitely bring a perfect balance of like weather and lower crowds. But even when it rains, like during the spring, you will see some crazy people going fast out there on their boats. Lake Anna also has some limited amenities compared to the suburbs. The nearest major hospital is in Fredericksburg, Virginia. It's over 45 minutes away, and there's also limited medical facilities around the lake as well. And if you want to go to the grocery store, like I said, you're not going to be going to Harris Teeter or your Whole Foods or Wegmans. Your average grocery store is also going to be about 15 to 20 minutes away just to get basic groceries. There also can be limited delivery services, right? So you're not going to be going on Uber Eats and getting Starbucks brought to you. That's something that my mom probably would really want. There's not a lot of youth activities that you will see a lot compared to other suburbs. And then the movie theaters and things like that, like shopping malls, they're all about 45 minutes away from Charlottesville or even Fredericksburg, Virginia, is where people typically go to. The internet connectivity is definitely improving. The Starlink definitely can get expensive, but that's something that I probably would do. Like I said, it can be faster than Xfinity, and you may want to consider property maintenance as well, because most properties here are on well and septics, and you definitely want to get a well and septic test when you are buying a house. That's something that we can help you with. That's why an agent is definitely key when you're buying a house here at Lake Anna. All right, so if you're thinking about moving to Lake Anna and buying vacation property here, maybe you want to live there, I'd love to help you navigate the market. Me and my team know Lake Anna very well. I have family that have houses right on the water. We'll even take you out in the boat and show you around. We know all about it. You can actually hit us up or hit me up. We'll jump on a Zoom and we'll tell you, hey, you know what? This might be a great spot. You can send us listings and I can tell you that's a great spot on the lake, or maybe I would pass on it. I help people with that all of the time. And all you have to do is email me, info@colganteam.com. We can set up a meeting, discuss your certificate needs. I can take you on a tour of the different communities and available properties at Lake Anna. And if you're interested in learning more about other areas of Northern Virginia, definitely hit that subscribe button, guys. I'll see you at the top or from the top.